We are going to be talking about coming out of the broom closet today, which is really a fun topic. I'm going to be talking about myself a little bit. Everybody has their own journey, and we're going to be learning how to figure out our own witchcraft story. And I know my story the best, so I'm going to share mine with you. Some people know that they've been a witch their whole life, but I didn't. It took me probably 20 years to figure out what that was and what it meant to be a witch. And it probably took me another 5 years before I gave in to being a witch. So I was raised as a Christian. And the Christianity that I grew up with was based in love. The church community was open to all races, religions, sexual orientations, gender identities. And it was a really special place to grow up. And I honestly attribute a lot of who I am today to that community. After a while, I realized that I just didn't relate to the Christian God. I just wasn't a Christian. So I stopped being a Christian. And I saw the miracle of nature and the miracle of the world. And I loved that. So I started realizing that my religion is nature. And I became obsessed with recycling and saving the planet. I was developing my new religion or spirituality connection with nature. And this led me to studying ecology in university. This helped me to answer all of those questions I had when I was a kid about why the earth is the way that it is. And I also learned a lot about how catastrophically humans have influenced nature. I also learned so many new things from a scientific perspective. I just felt a really strong connection to this way of looking at the world. And then when I took an ethnobotany class in college, which is the study of the relationship between humans and plants, that's probably where the witchiness started to take its hold. So I was learning about medicinal plants particularly, but I wrote a paper on the magical uses of plants as well, how humans use plants magically. And I loved that so much. It was so interesting to me. I just couldn't get enough of it. And then I started working in education, and I was sharing my knowledge with other people. So I was working for outreach in the local government, and I did a lot of nature hikes and medicinal plant hikes. Then I moved to Portland. I found another education position, this time working more with children. I super loved that. I was a field trip guide. And around this time when I was in Portland, that's when I started practicing witchcraft. But I didn't really realize that I had been practicing witchcraft all along. So there were some obvious things, like I have been reading tarot cards since I was probably 12 years old, but I didn't really think of myself as a witch because I did that. And I was really interested in astrology, and I mapped out my natal chart when I was 15 because I was just interested in learning more about myself. But I didn't really think of that as witchcraft either. And I have a large collection of rocks and plants and all of these things that a lot of us witches like to have, bones and things like that. And again, I didn't really think about it as witchcraft. I didn't think about my connection to nature as witchcraft either. And there are so many things that we do on a daily basis that could be considered magical. And then I started researching and learning that taking care of yourself is magical, and taking care of the plants and animals in your life and your children, those are magical acts. Preparing food for the people that you love is magical. And all of these different things, cleaning and protecting your home from intruders, being an activist for a cause that you care about, there's magic in the mundane. When I started my Etsy store selling crystals, that's where Mumbles and Things started. And it has been growing and changing in so many surprising ways. Like, this is not where I expected it to go. I did not realize that it was going to be such a huge lesson in self-development and personal development, but that's how life works. So it changed me, and I learned so much more about channeling my magic through this process of running a business. When I decided to do this challenge with you all, I was hearing a lot of you saying that you were not feeling confident in yourself and you didn't know where to start. And I wanted to figure out where I started. So I started thinking and journaling about this journey that I've been on and how I got to where I am now. And I think you would all benefit from that as well. Write your story, write out your journey. I will talk to you in the comments separately. Okay, bye.